Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're doing Ashes of the Innocent by Bullet for My Valentine. I put out a cover of this on Friday over the weekend. So yeah, let's get into it. This is a song that is on the Screaming Fire Deluxe album. It's a bonus track, and it was supposed to be on the album along with three other songs, which were Road to Nowhere, Watching Us Die Tonight, and One Good Reason Why. Those four didn't make the record, I believe, because Matt was still having issues with his voice in that period. So either he didn't have the time or the health even to finish those songs off vocally, so they released them a little bit later on. In my opinion, this has to be the heaviest Bullet song. I know there's probably traditionally more heavy ones, but for me this is the most sort of like thrashy and sad sounding, but it's got like big epic vibes as well. And the downpicked riff is an absolute monster. In fact, it actually made its way onto my favorite riffs video, I think, that I put out a couple of months ago now. So this song is in standard Bullet tuning. It's drop C tuning, so you've got a C, G, C, F, A, D. So C, G, C, F, A, D. That's a D standard tune guitar, but you tune the sixth string down to a C. So this song is all based off of the fourth fret. A little bit like Waking the Demon, if anybody's learned that one. It's very sort of similar the way it moves. So that lands is actually in the key of E minor for this song. If you're wondering how, so you've got C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and this point we're at E. So it's that got that real sad sounding song, and because it's all based from the fourth fret here, and that's kind of like our pivot point for this song, if you like. It allows us to have the low open, which is still in key, to make for a great big massive chorus. One of the things I will say about this song is it's super dense. Trying to hear what's actually going on in the chorus. There are guitars that come and go. There are guitars that are panned all over the place in the chorus. So I've worked out what I could make out the best, if that makes sense, and what I did on my cover as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So for the intro, you're going to start off with the fourth fret here. You're just going to bar your first finger across. You've got a power chord. You're going to want to be really well acquainted with down picking for this one. Again, I'm going to keep these riffs nice and slow so you can actually see and hear what's going on. Okay, so both guitars, left and right. If you don't know what that means, I say this on every lesson now, but if you are new here, I'll reiterate. Generally when you're tracking heavy metal guitars and rock guitars, you'll record a guitar, and on your sound spectrum, if you like, or your earphones, one will be panned all the way over to the right, so your right earphone all the way hard pan right, and they'll record the same track again, or maybe the harmony part, and they'll pan that all the way to the left. So that's how you get that really wide sound. So case in point, if you've ever been listening to music in earphones and you've taken one out and a guitar has just disappeared, it's because it's panned all the way to that side. And that's how you get that really wide sound when it comes to riffs and stuff like that. I've talked about it more in depth on my other videos, but I think we're all either aware of that or at grips with this now. So if you're new to this sort of thing about where guitars get placed in a mix and stuff like that, as sort of like a standard, if you like, I hope that helps. Like I said, the chorus on this one is a little bit difficult and to pick out actually what's placed where, because obviously I haven't got the actual stems. I'm literally just sliding the actual track around left and right to try and hear isolated guitar parts. But you've got to bear in mind there's vocals, drums and bass and harmony parts all over the place, especially in this chorus. So yeah, so I've done my best. Okay, so this first riff, all based off of the fourth fret. You're going to bar your first finger across. What I want you to do is bring your pinky over onto the seventh fret, fourth string. Okay, and it's that sort of hook that's going to happen between our pedal points, and this is very classic Bullet, to bar your finger across and keep these bass notes going here, and doing the melody with our other fingers, and then moving the bass notes. For instance, in this case, it's gonna be pedaling off of the 4th fret, and then we're gonna go over to the open, but keep the melody the same. What's going on over here with our pinky and 3rd finger? So the first guitars start off both left and right in unison, and they start with something like this. You're gonna palm mute. Okay, so I'm literally pedaling. And I'm accenting, not muting, so I'm starting off with the palm mute. The notes that are happening over here are not muted, okay? So I'm accenting, and I'll keep it all down picked on this one, all down pick, and keep it slow, and just build your way up. Okay? So I've got 7, 6, then I'm coming on with my pinky onto the 5th string to 7, and then I'm sliding up to 9. Okay, so that's that. For the next run of it, you're going to do this very quick slide. So check this out. Okay, so you've got an extra palm mute there. And you're going to do that quick slide. Okay, so altogether you should have something like this. Okay, then what he does is he literally plays the same thing again, but you're going to get rid of your 1st finger. And we're going to pedal off of the open 6th string now, okay? So it's going to be open. So this time you're going to go. Now, if you're wondering about my 1st finger here, I'm keeping it in the vicinity. If anything, I'm keeping it over the strings where I was, just to it's a bit of muscle memory, really. It's keeping me in place because we are going to be going back to that 4th fret on the 6th string again. And also it's there to kind of mute the strings from any sort of unwanted noise that your guitar might be making doing this riff, especially if you've got a heavy hand like me. Yeah, you'll get all sorts of unwanted noise. So let's check this out. Okay, so it's literally the same thing again, but our bass note is just moved from the 6th string, 4th, to the open. So altogether you should have something like this. Okay, so thus far. Okay, after that, what you're going to do is you're going to play this lick here. Okay, so you've got a hammer on and a pull off on a 6 and 7 there. And then I'm coming over with my pinky to hit 9 on the 5th string. Okay, so that's how you end the riff. Okay, make sure when you're down picking this, you're picking from your wrist. Yeah, no picking from the arm on this one. You're gonna end up tensing up and cramping up and getting that lactic acid building up, and you're gonna burn out in no time at all. It's a looseness. I once read in an interview with James Hetfield in Total Guitar magazine. It was one of the few interviews he's done on his guitar playing, I guess, and somebody was saying, or the interviewer was saying, how tight his rhythm playing is and how tight it looks, and he said it's a lot like when you watch the Olympics or a sprinter sprinting, running. in real time, when they're going around the track, they look like they're all sort of like bunched up and absolutely like really tensed up going for it. But when you slow the track down, when you slow the footage down, and you watch the runner running, they're actually extremely loose. And that's literally what he said about his picking and picking in general, I suppose. It should be a loose sort of feel to it. So yeah, all that is coming from my wrist, and I've had awful problems over the years tensing up and stuff like that, which has caused me awful issues. Just try and keep your right arm relaxed and let it all come from the wrist, and keep it slow. You'll get the control from that, and then you'll be able to speed it up from there. Okay, so that's the first measure of it, and that's both guitars. I want you to do that for both guitars. But then at the end of that run, once that's run through once, the guitar on the right breaks off and starts playing the harmony riff, okay? So that's the guitar that's going to be in your right speaker or your right earphone. And that guitar does this. Okay? So you've got the 4th fret here with your first finger, and you're going to be doing a hammer-on and pull-off with the 6th fret. And then your pinky's going to come over and do 7th fret. And it moves exactly the same way as this one. Okay? If you play those over each other, they're a counterpoint to one another, yeah? They work in perfect harmony, if you like. Okay? So the guitar on the right from the beginning would be this. Okay, so it's exactly the same as the guitar on the left. They're both in unison until that point where they do that hammer on and pull off lick. Okay, so right there, that's where the verse kicks in and Matt starts singing. The left guitar is going to play precisely what we've just played twice. Okay, so your intro riff, literally what we've just played, where you're going to do exactly the same thing and play it through twice. That's your left guitar. The guitar on the right is going to do the counterpoint to that guitar. And there's a couple of ways you can play this. It plays the higher notes, okay? So your bass note is going to stay the same. Now, the way I tracked it is this way. If you're not comfortable doing it this way, I'm going to show you another way of doing it. It's completely up to you. This is a bit more of a noisy way, I think. But when I've seen them playing it live, which was the one video on YouTube, when I saw Matt, I believe Matt was doing the harmony part, and I believe this is how he was playing it. So here we go. Okay, so that's how it starts. My first finger is barred right the way across 4th fret. Keep it just behind the fret wire, not on it, obviously. Keep it just behind. Keep your first finger nice and straight. And I'm going to do 6th fret here on the 3rd string, and then I'm going to come off there, and where my first finger is barred, that is going to catch 4th fret coming down. So you've got, okay? Okay? So work on trying to get that to pop out. If you're familiar with bar chords, it's the same principle. So after that, we've got 6th fret on the 4th string. Okay, and you're just going to slide back into 7. You're basically playing with the same sort of movement, it's just you're playing different notes. Okay, then okay, so all together, that riff. Then you're going to come off as normal. And then put your lick at the end. Okay? If you're not comfortable doing that bar, you can find this note over here on the 9th fret, but this is going to be a bit of a stretch, and I didn't particularly like it myself. Okay. So I'm coming over to catch 9 with my pinky there. That's how you could play it instead of barring, if you're not getting that note out there. Find which one works best for you. There's no right or wrong here. It's the same note, okay? See, I don't like it because out of just the way my hands move, my hands up coming out of the box, if you like, this kind of area that we're pivoting off of, it takes me away from my bass note. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it's just the way my fingers move. Once I've gone to the open, my hand automatically moves up. I guess that's just me. It doesn't have to be that way, but you're pretty spread there. So the way I would probably encourage you to play it is try and get this barring technique down. Okay. So that runs through twice alongside your right guitar, and that's your verse riff. Make sure you're comfortable and happy with all that, because when we go back through these riffs again, they're pretty much played exactly the same in the same sort of order. So yeah, just keep it slow, and that tight down picking and string skipping as well is it's really going to come for you. So there's your main riffs. Okay, let's move on to the chorus. So the chorus number 1. Like I said at the beginning, this is a dense song. Okay, in the mix, there's so much going on. So between having a look at what they did live on that one show you can watch on YouTube, and me just moving the track around in Cubase, trying to have a listen. It is it's very much a kind of like a wall of guitars that's going on. So these are the parts that I've picked out, and these are the parts that I used for my cover. The basis of it, I suppose, is just going to be with these power chords. Okay, so you've got 4th fret, and then open, and then 2. Okay, with your first finger flat. So the chorus goes something like this. And then back into your own. So that happens twice through, okay? Okay, so that's twice over that happens. Just listen to the track. That should be quite straightforward, okay? So they're probably the main rhythm guitars that you're going to be playing. But like I said, they're not in your face for this chorus because a lot of other guitars come in. So it's almost like they're dialed back or something to make room for everything else. Otherwise, everything's just going to pile on top of each other. So I picked out an octave guitar on the left, which is doing a melody. So octave chords, how do we do those? Well, you've got your first finger here, 2nd fret, 5th string, for this one anyway. The shape stays the same, okay? And you're going to go to the 4th fret on the 3rd string after that. You're going to skip a string, okay? So you've got a string in between, and you're going to kill that. Now, the way I do it is with my pinky. You could use your 3rd finger if you prefer to. I use my pinky, and I try and keep my hand as flat as possible. The only thing that you want ringing out is those 2 notes where you've got your fingers on. The note in the middle, I'm killing with my 1st finger just by lying it flat. This gives us a sound. It's the same note, just one is a octave higher, okay? Okay? So, yeah, octave chord. Super effective for choruses and doing like melodies and stuff like that over the top of big chords. It's a metalcore standard amongst many other genres. So what you're going to do is you're going to strum that. Keep your fingers as low to the strings as possible. I'm able to strum right across that and get only those two notes out. You want to be able to do the same. Okay, so this is what's going to happen over that main riff. I notice there's a bend at the end of that. That's kind of a signature thing that's happening through this song. It's the theme. There's these sickly, sad sounding bends that are going on in this song as kind of like a theme. So when you get to the end of that, make sure to give that a real good sort of bend, just gently. Okay, so where are we going? We're going 2nd fret, 4th fret. Then you're going to come up with your first finger, so you've got 4 and 6. Okay. So that happens twice. Okay, then you're going to come up. You've got 9th fret and your pinky should be on 11th. Okay, and then you've got that bend at the end of it, so. Okay. And then run it through again. Okay, sounds really strange isolated, but if you get it up to speed and you play it over the track, it just clicks into place. It makes a lot of sense. So that's hanging out on the left somewhere. So I've picked out another guitar, okay, which is what Padge plays live. Actually, he's not playing the octaves, I don't believe. He's just playing single notes, and those single notes are playing just the top of that octave chord that we've just been playing, if you like, just with a little bit less swing than we were doing with they're a little bit more intense. So you're just literally going to play those higher notes. And make sure to give that a good bend at the end. So literally, it's just literally what your pinky was doing on the octave chords, and we're playing it a little bit faster. Okay, so that's your another melody that's in there. And lastly, I'm sure there's other ones in there as well, because like I said, it is a big wall of sound. Lastly, I've picked out this guitar that seems to come and go, but there's a reason for it, and I'll show you. It's doing it seems to cut in and out. It starts off like this. Which is kind of like Alice in Chains kind of bending going on right there. You've got 4th fret on the 4th string. Sorry, I'm lying to you. You've got 6th fret on the 4th string. And then you're going to go down to the 4th fret on the same string. And it goes from the start of the chorus. Then, at that point, he's going, bring me to my knees. At that point, it seems to cut out. It just disappears. And I've listened really, really hard, and I can't hear what it does after that. It seems to be kind of like an overdub that just kind of comes in, and it's to bend at the same time as those bends that we've been doing. That gives us, which is a really... Trying to play it at the same time for you. Obviously, each guitar is individual, but it makes for this really sad sound when they're both being bent together. So that's literally doing this. Then it cuts out, and then it comes back in again. So as the fires burn and the tables turn. and then give it that really slow band on the 6th fret afterwards, in unison with, or at a counterpoint too, I should say, at the same time as you're doing that. Like I said, this is just, maybe it's anything you guys are going to be playing when you're jamming it yourself, but it's just so that you know it's in there, just to give you an idea just how many guitars make up layering with choruses and stuff like that. Sometimes they're not doing that much, and sometimes it just takes a little overdub of one very minimalist guitar part to really make things pop out and sound bigger. So after that, we've got the post-chorus and verse 2, which is exactly the same as we played it in the intro. You're going to start off exactly the same way with the intro, with both guitars doing the same riff in unison. No counterpoint to that one, so no higher guitar. So it's both guitars going. Then at the end of that, your guitar on the right breaks off and does its higher. And then the verse 2 starts, and then the guitars are going to do exactly what they did in verse 1. Okay, so it's all the same. So for chorus number 2, you're going to pretty much play exactly the same thing for your octave chords, for that single note thing I showed you, and for the bendy thing as well. Okay, so the chorus riff in this part is going to be exactly the same, but you're going to extend it and you're going to put some chugs in there with your right hand with palm muting it. Okay, so check it out. So you play it through just as we did earlier for the chorus earlier. Then it comes around again, and that's where you put that in. So it's... So that's your chorus riff altogether, okay? I'll run it through again for you. So it starts off as normal, and then you're going to add the chugs in. Okay, and that is your second chorus. And just play the lead parts exactly as you did earlier, but just for the extra measures that you need to. Okay? So it's the same, but we're just going to throw those chugs in to start us off each time on the 4s. At this point, we're into the solo rhythm, which is a really, really cool rhythm section that it's so unfortunate this song never sees the light of day in the live set, because this riff is so cool. I think it's just another Matt Tuck riff that you wouldn't know existed if you, of course, hadn't heard this deep cut bonus track, I suppose. But you're paying attention to the solo, I guess, for this part. The riff underneath, again, I wish it got more credit, if that makes sense. So it goes something like this. You've got 2 guitars. The guitar on the left is going to do the notes in between, which are lower, and I'll show you what I mean by that, because the guitar on the right is going to do higher ones. So let's start with the guitar on the left. This riff is going to run through 3 times. Okay, so that's the riff. Really cool, really different, especially with this on top. Okay, and the slides that are happening. It kind of, I guess this one kind of harkens really back to their roots on the Poison era and stuff like that. Having like notes between the chords and stuff. So it starts off. Okay, and what I'm doing there. Now, I thought at first there was a pull off to the open, but I'm pretty sure through listening and listening and listening over and over again, I'm pretty sure he's going. I'm pretty sure he's doing this note right here, which is on the 7th fret, 5th string. So you've got a pull off, 7 down to 6th on the 4th string, and then followed by another open. So you've got. Okay, and in between those, we've got some damps. Okay, damps. What do we mean by that? We're just going to fret the strings off, and we're gonna kill any sound. Try not to go over where there's rich harmonics, like 5th fret, 7th fret, 12th. You don't want that ringing out. Just try and get somewhere where it's quite dead and not rich harmonically. Okay, so we've got. Okay, so something like that. Then after that one, he slides down from 9th fret on the 4th string. Okay, so he goes. And then you've got these chords here. You've got 4 and 2. Okay, we'll talk about those in a minute. So far we've got. Okay. Okay, at the end of those, he does an open, chug, very brief, and then goes, catches those 2 notes there. So it's 5th fret across the first 2 strings. Okay, so altogether you've got something like this. So you're going to run that riff through 3 times, okay? So make sure to get that, try and get that as dead as possible. Okay? It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward. It's just the rhythm of it, because it's quite start-stop and quite jerky. It's that's going to catch you out. Meanwhile, on the guitar on the right, exactly the same time as that, the counterpoint riff to it is going to be exactly the same sort of thing with your main bass chords going on right there. But he's going to bring this, instead of playing here, he's going to play this higher counterpoint right here. So he's going to go start off with the open, and then. So what have we got there? We've got 11 and 9. And then he's going to finish up on 11th fret on the 5th string. Okay? Once he's done that, his slide this time on the right is going to go down from the 12th fret on the 4th string. Okay? So you've got. Okay, and that gets played through 3 times, okay, alongside the one on the left. Okay. So making sure to be able to really stop the guitar when it needs to stop and stop it dead, and not having notes ringing out when they shouldn't be. Okay, so if you play those parts through 3 times, that should take us up to the sort of outro solo, if you like, where they do the harmony guitar part. Okay, and the rhythm under that changes. It goes something like this. It's dead simple, but there's a bit of a twist, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. you've got this. And that's literally it. So you've got the open, 2, 4, and then up to 7. So a couple of 4s that are strummed, and then up to 7. So 3 times. So you've got then it starts again. And then it ends right there on the 2 before going back into the main riff. Okay. Now in between that, this is where it gets interesting, and I had a fun time trying to break this down. Fun in the sense of it was really hard to hear what was going on, but when I found out, it was really rewarding. There's actually picked chords, if you like, or dyads. Some are dyads, some are chords, I guess, that are happening in between those chugs. Now I listened really close because it sounded like the chug guitars were kind of playing these notes in between, but the way I heard it is the chug guitars are just doing the start-stop thing and they're not playing these chords, because you'd have a hard time jumping from them and getting back down to what you need to be doing to keep the rhythm. So this is what's happening in between. So in between you've got this. Something like that, okay? I'll slow it down now. I'll try to play it all together, but it's really hard to jump back and forth. So you've got this. Okay, so it ends up with these suspended second chords, I guess you could call them. First off, you've got these dyads. So you've got your pinky over on, this is how I figured out anyway. You've got your pinky over on 9th fret, 4th string. Then you've got your first finger over on 6th fret on the 3rd string. And you're just going to go. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to come up a string each. And then you've got 9 and 7. Okay? This shape right here. Okay? And then he does this. And it's, like I said, it's these suspended second sounding chords. So I've got my 3rd finger on the 4th string and my pinky on the 3rd string. And then my 1st finger is going to come over and do 9th fret on the 2nd string. So you've got, okay? I'm going down, down, up, up. And then once you've done that, he brings it up and does 14 and 12. So your 3rd finger and your pinky should be on 14, and your 1st finger should be on 12 of the 2nd string. Okay? It's really difficult to play this and make it sound like it, but if you listen to the track, it's there. So altogether, it would be something like this. And that's what's happening in between the chugs. At the end of that, when you've come up to the 12th and the 14th right here, it starts again. And then just ends on that second one right there of the 7 and then the 9. So that's literally that. Then starts again. And then we're back over into the main riff again. So yeah, so there's those little chords that are kind of like ear candy, I guess, if you like, that are happening between the main chugs. And of course, underneath all the lead guitar playing that's going on there. So the song reboots itself at that point, coming out of the chugs. You've got both guitars in unison doing the main riff. Okay, precisely like we learned it earlier. At the end of that, played once through with the guitar on the right breaking off and starting with the higher notes. Okay, and then you break into the verse, and the verse is going to get played once through, just like in the intro. And then you have a little clean break, which I'm going to show you right now. I'm just gonna dial back my my distortion here because it's not a true clean guitar. It's kind of like it's almost like a rolled off gain kind of thing going on. So just take your volume knob and move it all the way to the back, and then just come slowly forward, and you want this kind of a sound. Okay, maybe even less than that. Okay, and there's a load of reverb on it as well on the actual track itself, I think. Okay, and what we're doing there is we're just outlining the main chord that we've been pedaling off of. So you're just going to start with your first finger right here across 4th fret. You're going to bring your 3rd finger over onto the 6th fret, okay, of the 3rd string like we have when we've been playing the main riff, and you're going to go like this. Okay, so it's something like that. Okay, so I've got 3rd finger, then pinky goes on to 7th. And then what I do is I catch this note here that my 1st finger's barring. A little bit like we've been doing for the harmony part of the main riff, right? Okay, and that is 4th fret on the 3rd string. So you've got, okay, and then I'm going back to my bass note there. So I'm going, and then I play again. And at that point, I'm just doing 4th fret to finish. So 4th string, 6th string. Check it out. Okay, and that's that. Really simple. Just make sure that your 1st finger is barred there to catch that note that's happening there on the 3rd string, 4th fret. Okay, so that's your little clean guitar break. That just happens once. Then we're into our final chorus, and then that just lands us straight on the open this time. Okay, and we're going to play the chorus through twice now, and there's no chugs this time. So it's pretty simple, but we're just going to start as if we've already done 4th fret of the chorus. We're just going to start from the open. So once you've run the chorus through twice, the fit song just finished with these great big power chords here. You're going to come to 7th fret. Used to think it was 4th, but after listening a couple of times, he actually comes up to 7th. He's going to go. And let that hang for eternity, for the outro. Okay, it's a sustained, and it just goes on forever. So the end of the chorus, you're going to go. And that's literally it. So coming out of that little clean break, it goes something like this. And yeah, that's literally it. That's all of the rhythm guitar parts for Ashes of the Innocent. It's fairly straightforward. I don't think with this lesson, like my other ones, I've had to go really into depth with what's going on, especially with those strumming parts in the chorus. It's fairly simple, straightforward stuff. The only tricky stuff, I guess, is the start-stop stuff in the solo section, the rhythm guitar. And I guess the other tricky thing would be the down picking on the main riff itself, I suppose. So with that said, let's have a little look at the solo section now. So the solo section I like to think is in three parts. You've got the first part that's quite slow, with these emotive bends going on. Then you've got the main body of the solo with the shredding and stuff that Padge is doing. And then after that, the third part, you've got the counterpoint sort of slidey classic two guitar part thing that Bullet are famous for, with the showing that kind of Iron Maiden, Thin Lizzy kind of sound going on. So for this solo, it's all F sharp minor positions. We're playing an E minor, theoretically, but if you know your F sharp minor positions on a standard tune guitar, if you like, that's basically where we're at for this solo. So this is all natural minor positions. There's no exotic scales or anything like that going on in this one. And there's some ballsy pentatonic stuff going on in there as well. So let's just start with the first part, the solo section 1. So Padge slides in. Okay, and starts like that. You're going to slide in on the 7th fret, 3rd string. And you're going to give it a... On the 2nd string, you've got 7 and 9. And you're going to do a hammer on and some bend. And that's a half step bend right there. Okay, we're not bending. We're not doing the full bend there. We're just bending into a half step bend. Okay, so you've got... Okay. Okay. Then after that, you're going to come up. Okay, you're going to come up to 12th fret on the 2nd string. And that is going to be 12, hammer on to 14. Okay, so let's have a look at that run. Happens again. That sustains for a little bit, and that's when the next guitar cuts in and takes care of the next run. Okay, for section 2 of the solo, if you like, it's a completely different guitar doing the next run of it. So altogether, that section will be this. Up to 12. Repeat. Okay, so that... it's a hammer on, then a pull off, and then slide back. Okay? Okay, so all together. Up to 12. Repeat. Then. And that's a... Okay, that's a bend right there on 12. Okay, and again. Up to 12. Okay, over the top of that, somewhere around the latter part of it, solo 2 is gonna, or section 2 of the solo, if you like, the next guitar is gonna cut in on top of that. And it's a 6-string run. Padge, especially around this era, and he's actually continued to do so, actually. He loves 6-string runs, just running up the scale, okay? So it goes something like this. Okay, that's very typical of Padge. So how are we going to do that? Usually, he alternate picks things, but the way he's sort of the way his chops are on this one, it sounds like he's hammering this to me anyway. When I was listening to it closely and had it slowed down, because we're tuned down, we're gonna have to change our root note from this F sharp position. It's gonna be up here on the 16th fret. And you're basically just going to go 16, 18, 19. Okay? Then you're going to come back to 14 and you're going to go 14, 16, 17. So, okay. Then you're going to repeat that again and then come on to 14, 16, 18. So far you've got this. Okay? Okay? Once you're on that fourth string, doing 14, 16, 18, you're going to do the same thing again. 14, 16, 18 on the third string. Okay? So all together. Okay? Once you get to there, on the third string, okay, you should be on 18th fret with your pinky. You're going to come onto the 15th fret, second string, and go 15, 17, 19, and then 16, 17, 19 on the first string, okay? It's all diatonic, it's all minor shapes. If you learn your scales, and you learn your patterns and stuff, you literally just outline in the shapes, okay? So you've got, from the beginning, okay? Keep it slow. It's all hammer-ons. Okay? So that's that run. Something like that. So it's really effective, even though it's tracing the outlines of scales. Once you play it fast, it's really effective. So where you land on 19th fret, you're going to do 2 big bends. Okay? Then you're going to come back. So when you land on 19 right there, you've got those 2 great big bends, okay? So then you're going to come back into 16th fret and do a little pull-off idea on 17 next door, okay? And then we're just going to go 16, 17, 19. So you've got 2 bands, and again, pick, hammer on, and then he's doing this. Dead simple. Okay, so 2 bands, then pick on 16. We're going to do the hammer off. He's going to ride it up. 16, 17, 19. And then 16, 17, 19, this sort of run here. Okay, really, really simple stuff there. Then what happens over the top of that, just to cut you in on as far as the harmony goes, he's doing, when he's doing this little run here, there's actually a lower guitar that comes in and harmonizes with him and does 12th fret, 12, 14, 16. Just over the top of that, just in case you're wondering. So, okay, so that's that section. Then what you've got after that is you've got the Zakk Wylde kind of lick that's going on with the wah pedal comes on, and you're going to do this. Okay, it's all pentatonic, F sharp pentatonic, minor. So we're going to run that pattern 4 times now. After that, you're going to swap out that bend that you're doing on 17th fret, and you're going to swap it for 16th fret on the 3rd string. Then you're going to go back. And you're going to build it up, okay? So you've got... Then you're going to go, same thing again. Half step bend on 16th fret, first string. Then again. And then you're going to bend up on the 17th fret, okay? So it's just your pentatonic shapes. If you know your pentatonic minor shape, it's going to be really easy for you, okay? It's just the picking pattern and the fact that it's quite fast and the way it moves that's tricky. So all together. Okay? Okay, something like that. It's quite hard to do slowed down. But yeah, that's that lick. Then we're going to go back to 19th fret and do a great big bend. Okay. It's difficult to get that one to sing. I really struggle to get that one to sing, but that's it anyway. It's a whole step bend. And you're going to come down to 17, 16. So bend up. Let it back down, pick it, and then you're going to do an F sharp minor natural run down here. So what's that? You've got pinky on 17, 16, 14. Next string, you've got 17, 15, 14. Okay, then we're going to come back and we're going to do 16, 14, 13. And when you get to that 13, give it a bit of give it some wide vibrato. Okay, so that's... Okay. So from here... Okay, simple shapes. Okay. You're just following the scale pattern there. Okay, but you're reversing it. So after the run of that, that's when section 3 of the solo comes in, that I like to think is section 3, and that's your counterpoint guitar parts that are doing the sort of slow, Thin Lizzy, you know, that sort of Iron Maiden kind of thing going on. It goes something like this. You've got the guitar, which is on the left, that's going to do the higher notes. You've got the guitar on the right that is going to do the lower notes. So we're going to slide in. I like to come in from 4th up to 6th. So this is the left guitar. And that's literally it. So slow. Okay, so that's a hammer on and pull off there. So slide in. Same thing again. Hammer on and pull off and slide. Okay, so that's literally it for the guitar on the left. Slow. Okay, just being really sure to give that a good bend there. Keep your thumb over the neck to support that bend. Okay, then you got the guitar on the right at the same time as that. It's going to slide in and you're going to come to 7th fret. on the 4th string. It sounds really abrupt to just bend and stop right there, but that's the lower counterpoint right there. So that's literally it. And there you go. There's all your solo sections for Ashes of the Innocent. As usual, I've tried to break it down and play it as slowly as possible. If you've got any questions, just hit me up in the comments. It's a really cool song that I think showcases a lot of Bullet's abilities, really, and a little bit what they're all about. Really fast, down-picked riffs, kind of got the Metallica influence going on there. The solo, it's got, you know, the Iron Maiden stuff going on, but then like that Zakk Wylde style lick going on, which is really cool. So yeah, have fun with this one. If I've missed anything, I do apologize. I've tried to go at a nice steady pace as usual, just so that you guys can get it. So thank you for spending the time with me here today. I hope this lesson's been helpful. I put a thing out on Instagram saying if I hit 200 subscribers, I'll wear the Boba Fett helmet in a cover. And I think we're 18 or 19 people away from that happening, so look out for that one. It's going to be interesting when I have to do that when I finally hit the 200. So yeah, thanks for tuning in today, guys. I hope this lesson's been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. And yeah, come find me on Instagram. That's the best way to keep up to date with what's going on my channel. And the link for my one-on-one lessons via Zoom is down below in the description as well. So yeah, other than that, thanks for tuning in as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Take care.